All right, welcome to the Parish Porch. This week we've got Mark Belgard, who is the Ascension Parish Department of Memes guy, quite possibly the most famous person in Ascension Parish in this day and time. He has won the Ascension Parish Person of the Year for 3 times in a row, although he's only been nominated once.
You have to be nominated to win. What the?
Yeah.
Anyway,
So go ahead and jump right in and tell us about this nomination that you keep winning here.
all right. Every year, the Weekly Citizen newspaper, which used to be the Gonzales Weekly, used to be the only. There used to be the only newspaper in Gonzales was the Gonzales Weekly, and then the Weekly Citizen started, and they were like the competition to the Gonzales Weekly, and they had like full color newspaper. It was so much better. And I think they end up merging or something. So now that's the only newspaper, but you have to subscribe to get it. Trust me, because when the first year I won, I drove around town trying to find a newspaper, and no one stocks it. You have to subscribe only because I don't know, maybe nobody's buying them. I don't know. Every year they run this online, this Best of Ascension thing, and they've been doing it I don't know, 15 years, because you go to Mike's Po' Boys or somewhere and you'll see best Po' Boys in 2007 or something. So they've been doing it a while. A few years ago, I guess they've always done Person of the Year. And I went back in history and looked, and like before me, it was Sheriff Bobby Weber. Before that, it was a priest 3 times. And then it was the priest at Holy Rosary.
Yeah.
It's who would like incorporate rap into his sermons or something. I guess people like that. And I guess it kept him awake. Before him was James LeBlanc, and then I don't know what was before that. But as you can see, it's going way downhill. Now it's just me. So, so yeah, they have different categories: best pizza, best po' boy, best gumbo. It's a lot of food ones for sure. But then you have like best car mechanic and all that kind of shit. But the first time it was on there, I saw Person of the Year, and I'm like, yeah. I said, throw my name in there. Let's see what happens. And apparently, I beat the out of everybody. And then I just so the
Huh?
next year, I didn't expect to win again. Well, the first year was like me, my friend Jeff Vance, and a couple little business owners. And I said, maybe I'll win, maybe I won't, because at the time, my friend Jeff Vance was getting off the ground, starting a stand-up comedy tour around Ascension Parish, and he was kicking ass, and he was bigger than I was at the time, I'll say, because me and him had just did our own little podcast, and then we kind of split, and he did his comedy thing, and I kept doing this. My Facebook page for a year, from summer of 22 to summer of 23, was shadow banned, muted, whatever. Nobody was seeing my posts for like a year. I would post something great and to get 17 reactions. That happened for like a whole year. So he was at the time kicking so much ass compared to what I was doing. I thought for sure he would win. I won, and I'm like, wow, okay, sure. So then the next year, I'm like, hey, as much as I'd like to win again, I don't expect it. So hey, here's some other people to vote for. Brenda Whitney, she runs the What's Going On the Central Parish page. Joey Cavalier. I started naming all these other people around the parish, and they still voted for me. So I don't know. They keep doing it, so I keep winning. So
Man, that's fun. That's fun.
I
Um,
have a whole list ready this year of people I want other people to win, because some of the people, and I'm not trying to get ugly, but some of the people in these categories, I don't know why they're there other than they ask their customers to spam the list. Like, okay, let's say Sheely Bell, the band director who was at EA for 20 years and then Dutchtown, and she's loved by everyone. She should be on the list. Let's say Stephen Elaine, he's the security cop at Sanoma. He loves the school, all the students love him, the staff love him, he does a great job. He could be on the list. Uh
they have a nickname for him.
Scuba. I used to go to a catechism with him way back in the day. I've been
My
doing them since the 90s. But every year there's like this photographer no one's heard of, or a guy who runs a car wash no one's heard of. And you've never heard of him outside of that. And I'm like, why is he on the list? Like, I mean, maybe he does a good job. You might cook the best food ever. But does that make you the parish person of the year? I don't think so. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't
Well, I'm with you. I like the fact that it's, it could go to some of these people who have been making a long-standing impression on our families, our kids for generations, things like that. I
know.
mean, the band directors. We've even got some, other people come to my mind that have just been staples in the community. through the school system, that are still involved since I was a kid,
If
and
you're
so,
familiar with Sanimal, I have another guy. Last year, I was gonna recommend everybody nominate Rod at DeLone's. Do you know who that is?
oh yeah,
Yes, the
definitely.
guy outside who's always getting buggies and whatever, and
Oh
he's
yeah,
just
I
he's
know,
just a
definitely.
yeah. So I asked Marissa Rabelais, she's like the social media person. She's on the inside over there. I said, if I tell everybody to nominate Rod, will that be weird for him because he's kind of shy, he's kind of
Yeah,
weird,
it might
So
be, it might
so
be.
I said he might not like that, or everyone will love it. I would lose to Rod, it'd be great. But she talked to like his mom, and his mom's like, "Don't do that to him."
Yeah, I mean, he's been there since like high school, man.
Yeah,
I don't think he's ever had another job.
yeah. Everybody loves him, and if he
Yeah.
ever won, that'd be great. I'd rather lose to a guy like Rod than some you know what I mean, like some small business guy that no one's heard of or done
Well, it
anything outside that.
look, there's a great reason why people are supporting you. And I mean, you're bringing a lot to the community. I mean, humor goes so far. It's really nice to get off work and check your page. That's probably what everybody does. Check it at lunch, or even during work, whatever. But in the evenings, I have my kind of wind down time, and like those are the kind of things I'm looking for, right? I'm looking at like a lighthearted joke, make fun of stuff, just kind of set the tone for the afternoon. So, who were you before all this, and what else are you doing like in your life as far as like a career and whatnot?
Nobody knew who the I was before this at all. Like I didn't go to any council meetings. I didn't do anything. I was quiet in school, and then I worked at various little dead end jobs around town. Like I worked at the Gonzales Kmart, the Walmart, the Burger King. I've worked at all the little jobs, and then now I'm doing real work. But I've always lived and went to school here. But I've always been quiet and under the radar. And then I was married for like 10, 15 years. I should know that math. 14 years. And then I had 3 kids. But I went to work and I went home, took care of my kids, and I went to
Yeah,
sleep. So for no one except people I went to school with or worked with knew who
yeah.
I was. And even when I started the page, everyone was trying to guess who it was because I didn't want to jump out there at first. And everybody was guessing it was Mark Taylor, some other people, and I'm like, you'll never guess who it is because I've been nobody until this.
Whoa, where'd you go to school?
EA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, what kind of time frame was that? When were you there?
I graduated in 98.
98. Okay.
Yeah.
So I graduated in 95 from Santa Monica. So you might have graduated with Scuba. I think he graduated in 98. Pretty
Yes, we
close.
were in the same grade.
Okay.
I don't think he went to EA though. He might have went to Santa
No,
Monica.
he did. Yeah,
Yeah,
he
yeah,
went
yeah.
to Santa Monica.
Well, we went to church together. We both went to St. John's, and I went through their catechism program, and he was with me through that.
Well, I mean, we're so excited to be bringing voices from the community, trying to create, a place where community voices can shine, and that has to do with culture, history, people really giving back is kind of what we're looking for, to highlight. And everybody, I was like, okay, so we were making a list, like who all should we have, like, on the show, and like your name came up in every single person that we asked.
Hell
But
yeah.
you got to have Mark on there. So you so what do you do for a living now? I mean, this is obviously not for a living, right?
No, not at all. I make a little money off it, but not. I mean, it's beer money. It's bullshit money,
Right,
and
right.
it'll be a few $100s a month. For a while, I was making 1,000 a month, which was great. But then I got kind of demonetized back in October because I made a drug joke. It was Halloween was coming, and I said, "What house got the drugs and the candy?" Right, just
Oh
joking around.
God.
And they were like, "Oh, you're trying to sell drugs," and they demonetized me for like 6 months. I only just got it turned back
So
on.
who's they?
Facebook,
Okay.
Meta, whatever. Yeah, they had shut down my money for a good 6 months. And right now I'm making $500-600 a month, but it's
Yeah.
it's something. That's free money. I ain't mad at
Yeah.
it. And I can use that money to do giveaways and all that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's awesome.
But
Go
outside of
ahead.
work, since you asked, I work for a plastics distributor company,
Okay.
distribution company, whatever. And we just sell 4x8 sheets of plastic, plexiglass. It's a
Um,
good job, but man, I hate working in Port Allen.
so you talked about, let's jump into this. You talked about, a little bit of beer money you're making, but you're able to use some of that to give back, and
Yes.
giveaways and stuff. Give some examples of kind of like what you've given away and what your plans are.
Okay. The first one I did, it was just kind of a joke to make men overall look bad, even though I am a man. It's just fun. Uh, Valentine's Day was coming up, and I had all this extra money, and I said, "Hey, ladies, if your man doesn't get you something for Valentine's Day, meet me at Harvest, and I'll buy you a pint of Bluebell." Right? Thought nothing of it. 7 people showed up, and I'm like, "All right, hey, this is cool." I didn't know how much. I didn't know if it'd be one person or 50. I don't know, but I had the money. They're $3 a tub, whatever. That's money. You know what I mean? So I had 7 women show up. But it was like one woman had her kid and one woman by herself. But I was like, "Yeah, I'm here for the ice cream." So we all took pictures, and I bought their ice cream at the register, and I'm like, this could be something. So
Yeah.
I said, let's do this every month because everyone loved that I even did that. So the next month was March. So got a hold of Sips, the coffee shop, and I said, "Hey, do y'all make a Shamrock Shake?" And they said, "Not only do we make a Shamrock Shake, it's way better than the McDonald's one." And they put like Lucky Charms on the top, and oh, it was beautiful. So the next month, I said, "Y'all come to Sips on whatever day it was, and I'll buy everybody who comes in a Shamrock Shake." And I think that was about $300 worth. I had the money, whatever. I just give it right back. And I think I kept the receipt for taxes or whatever. But yeah, I'm just doing these giveaways with the money. And then for Mother's Day, we tried everybody email me a story about your mom, why she's the best mom, and whatever, your grandma, it doesn't mean you, whoever. And we got maybe 100 entries, and we printed them out, and me and some friends gathered around a table, threw some away, whatever. And then we decided on, I think, two, and we gave away like $500. And we did, actually, you know what? The first one I did was a Christmas thing. It was the year before that. It was like my first year. We did a Christmas giveaway. I asked everybody to donate money into a pool, and it was like $1,200 or something. And then we picked 2 families and we gave like $600 each. And it made a story. People liked it. It blew up the page. It didn't cost me anything, and it was fun. And at $600 is a lot for
It's
groceries. You know
so
what I mean?
good to know that people in our community are doing this stuff and being involved and supporting somebody like you in good humor, but like also for a lot of good causes. And I'm sure more good causes to come. We're going to talk about some of those good causes. But what you have a big giveaway planned for 2025 yet, or
Not
not
yet.
yet? Not
I
yet.
really thought because I've been,
Well,
I went,
maybe for
my
Christmas.
account kind of went broke because they took all my money. I mean, they cut my money off.
Yeah,
I just did a sponsorship with the St. John's Fair because the St. John's Fair is coming up. And
yeah.
last year, when the Jambalaya Festival was happening, I'm looking at the wall. They said gold sponsors, platinum sponsors, whatever. And I'm like, I wonder how much it would cost to get my name on this thing. And it was so much money they wanted. Like, I think the bottom tier was like $2,500 or something. I said, no, I can't afford that. So the St. John's one is coming up, and that's my favorite fair. It's so much better than the Jambalaya Festival because it's all church members. They cook the food there. They got the raffle. They got the homemade games, the whatever, you roll the ball and see, the
Yeah.
rubber duck and all the, and they got like, not only do they have local bands playing, sometimes they have school bands playing. I went
Yeah.
out there one time, they had the Sheely Bell out there with the Dutchtown band. I said, wow, that's awesome. So it's just a great festival. So this year I looked up, and I think the tiers were way more reasonable. I mean, if you paid 5 grand, you would have your name above the stage or whatever. It was real big, but they had one that was only $400. And I looked, and it's like, you donate $400, you get like 10 free meals, a shirt, whatever it was. And I say, you know what, I can swing that. So when y'all go to the St. John's Fair this year, look for my name on the wall in that building. And yeah, I don't mind donating to that church. I'm not even Catholic, not
Yeah.
anymore. Well, I used to be, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't mind donating to that church because it's the best one to me. I don't know.
That church gives a lot. That church, I've been
Yeah,
there a lot. I've been to a lot of weddings there and other events, all through the years. And I know a lot of the,
they take good care of it.
yeah,
It's
it's a
nice.
really nice church. And I know a lot of the community that goes to church there. I'm related to a lot of them. So, yeah, it's a good church. Let me ask you this. Let's get a little technical. What does meme represent to you?
That's kind of determined by the internet, because the first thing I heard called a meme was Rick rolling. Back when you
Yeah.
would prank everybody to watch that Rick Astley video,
Yeah.
that was called a meme,
It's
and that's the first
still
place I
one
ever
of the
heard it.
most popular memes. It's like one of the top. It's
This was
still to this
maybe
day.
2007 or
Oh
5 or
yeah,
something.
it's
And it was
like
all over Reddit and Slashdot and Fark.com, if you remember
yeah.
those. And it was everybody would trick each other into watching that video. And that was called a meme then. And then it became you'd see the face and you'd have like the little color spiral around them. And you'd have like a plot twist joke with the captions. That was a meme. And then you had the Rage comics for a while. Uh and now it's basically like a movie screenshot or something, and then like a caption that's not really what it is, but what it's relatable to, and that's what people are doing now. But now there's like video memes. Like I'm not on TikTok or any of those short reel apps. You think I would be, but I'm not. But my kids are, and they're calling like a running gag that everyone's putting in their videos a meme. And I'm like, how's that a meme? It's a video. They're like, it is, and I get it. That's not what I'm used to doing, but
Yeah.
like having this video of this guy falling and the sound effect. That's a meme now.
Right now, I've been seeing a lot of people creating the memes with the anime style, and I saw you doing that too with Concrete Man.
Well,
But
I heard about it in the news and I saw a few examples. People were doing like the Seinfeld cast or whatever. They're taking shots from movies and they're making it this cartoon.
yeah,
So I looked up how to do it, and it's just a regular Chat GPT app.
yeah.
And you upload an image and say Studio Ghibli, whatever it's called, this image. And it takes about 5 minutes to process because so many people are doing it. But yeah, I said, well, let me just do one. And I did the Concrete Man, and it was cute. It was
Oh
adorable. Like
yeah,
I'd watch that cartoon.
it was awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, he looked like he was coming to save the day. Like he kind of looked like the Kool-Aid Man a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and the kids will change what memes.
Yeah.
It'll transform some more, I'm sure.
But if you notice, and I've told people this, if you scroll through my page, only about 1 in 5 posts are actually memes. Like
Yeah.
I have meme apps that'll give me examples, and I'll just scroll through it and try to see what I can localize. Or if something's in the news, I'll scroll through that meme app and see what I can relate to it and try to make a meme out of it. But for the most part, it's pictures people take, like look at this crazy that happened in Keystone today, and they'll send it to me. Or someone will take a screenshot, somebody says a funny comment, and they'll send it to me and I'll post it. Or I'll just have a funny thought or a question, or I'll just ask people, "Hey, you think we could do this?" Or would you rather have mayonnaise on this or blah blah blah? And I'll just ask a question just to get people to talk. And very few of my posts are actually memes.
I mean, your page reminds me of a comic. I mean, you've definitely got that inner comic. You've got
Mhm.
that, my one of my daughters tells me she has an inner narrator in her head at all times writing a story.
Everybody does.
And but I think you might have an inner comic.
Okay.
I don't,
My head is always working on what I can do on the page. Like some people just have a page and when they're on Facebook, they do it. But every time I'm looking around, I'm like, how can I localize this? How can I make a joke? If I see something in traffic, I'll take a picture and see, well, maybe I can make this funny. I don't know. I'm always working. Even though I got jobs and kids and I'm always trying to think of what I can post next.
well, that's why it's so good. I mean, you're all in. I like that. I mean, I'm always looking for people to be around who are all in when whatever they're doing. I mean, it's
People
all.
will send me stuff, and a lot of it, I'm like, I cannot post that.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
one
I was
thing,
going to ask you, how do you balance the humor
well,
with
some
kind
things
of
are
like
just awful, and well,
respect? How do you balance that?
yeah, I got to think about that too. First thing I got to think about, will Facebook be mad at me if I post this? Like, I
Okay.
have to watch my words. Like, I can't say good night, big booty hose or some because I might get in trouble for the word hose. You know what I mean? Like that. I
Really?
got to be careful how I word certain things or any kind of violent threat, even if you're joking. Slap the guy who invented this. I might get in trouble for that. So I have to be very careful.
It's that monitored?
Yeah. Oh, I've been Facebook jail for the tamest.
What in the world happened to free speech? My goodness.
Yeah, it's just you got to be super careful what you say. So
That
that's the
is
first thing.
ridiculous.
That's
Yeah.
why I don't pick on Donaldsonville. First, I don't really know Donaldsonville, so I wouldn't do it justice, right? Like I know Gonzales and Prairieville and
Yeah.
Geismar and Dutchtown and such, but I'm never in Donaldsonville. If I
Right.
lived there or if I was there all the time or I worked there, I could find some things around town and people would see it and say, "Oh yeah, I go down that. Yeah, yeah, I've seen that, whatever." But I don't know Donaldsonville, so I don't want to post about Donaldsonville and on it.
I want
So
to
I have
do a
to watch for
show
that.
about Donaldsonville. I'm interested in the history of it. I'm
It's
really,
beautiful in
yeah. I
places.
mean, some of those old buildings, I want to learn more. I was telling our producer Kennedy, some of the things I want to learn about. I want to learn more about the old train station in Gonzales. I want to learn more about how like the antique district came about in Denham Springs. I want to learn about the at one point I was told, and I haven't done the research on this, that Donaldsonville was the capital of the state.
It was.
Okay,
It
I
was for
thought
like
so.
2 years or something.
Yeah, I want to
It's a
know
big
about
sign
that.
right when you enter Donaldsonville around the two curves. There's a big sign that says we
Yeah.
were state capital from 1850 or whatever. I don't know what year it
And
was.
so when I was a kid, my grandfather, we would go fishing down in the spillway, down in Bell River in that area, and we'd always cross the Sunshine Bridge. And every time my grandfather would say, one time Donaldsonville was his
It
state
was.
capital. And so, that's some cool history there. But so I am interested in how you balance that humor but I didn't realize, and it's interesting to know that a lot of it has to do with what Facebook is gonna.
Some of
Yeah,
it is. Some of it's I have to watch what I say, and
yeah,
some of it is just I don't want to be perceived as like a bully or stuff
yeah.
like that, right?
Well, I
Because
mean,
sometimes I've been wrong, and then my comment section set me right, and I'm like, you know what, you're right. Somebody sent me a picture. There was this woman in like it wasn't the Prayville Walmart, it was the neighborhood Walmart at Germany Road or whatever it was, and this woman was wearing some crazy clothes, right? And then so I posted it, and then everybody got on me like you're making fun of this woman, it's poor taste, blah blah blah. And I said, all right, so I took it down. But I just saw, hey, this woman's wearing crazy clothes, and then everyone's like, you're making fun of this woman. Maybe that's all she has and such. I said, okay,
yeah,
fair.
that's fair. That's fair. But I think
But it's never my intent
it shows your
to,
heart that you took it
yeah,
down.
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
realize
It's
you
never
were
my
wrong.
intent to people off. That's not my game.
Well, what about negative feedback? How do you respond to that? If it's truly like you feel like, no, this is legit, but somebody's just,
Every now and then I get some in the comments, and most of the time I'll leave it alone, or the rest of the comments will set him straight. I try to just let people argue sometimes, but
yeah,
if someone is just outright the C word, you know what I mean? It's just a piece of and they're insulting me and insulting the page. I'll click their profile, and if they're from here, maybe I'll hide their comment so everybody will they don't get no attention, or I'll let it be. But if it's some guy in Minnesota, him, I'll hit ban. I'll
yeah,
block them.
yeah,
But if you
yeah.
can't, you don't have to be on my page. This is my like how you gonna come in my house and insult me or the rest of the followers? Get the out of here.
I think that's a good attitude. I mean, I
Yeah,
like it. I mean,
yeah,
and I've been really impressed with what you're doing with the pride stuff.
I am doing that. Just
Yeah,
because, all right, so a couple years ago, me and my kids and my wife, we went to Lafayette just as a little mini vacation. And we just happened to stumble on the Lafayette Pride event. It's in downtown. We were just parked and we walked down the street. We're like, what the hell's going on? Sure enough, they had a big thing, a parade down the street, a DJ playing, all the stores were selling things. They had booths and vendors all down the road. We're like, what? Because we're a very open-minded family. Like we're not bigoted at all. We proudly would go to that. I'm not bothered. So anyway, so I went to that, and this year we're like, where else can we go? Because we like to take little small vacations just around the state. I don't have Disney money.
yeah,
I don't want to bring my kids. I don't throw my kids in the car and drive for 12 hours. I don't want to do.
right.
It's not nice. So we just look around the state, and we were looking at Hammond, even though it's not a big city, but it's just somewhere to go. And I was Googling if Hammond has a Pride, and they said they don't. I'm like, well, who does? Because I was going to see if it was happening on the week I go on vacation, and they don't even have one. I said, well, if Lafayette can have one, because Lafayette they're a little bit progressive, but they're still old fashioned over there. But they do it, and it's fine. And Baton Rouge, they have their protesters, but you go indoors and it's fine. Everybody gets along. So I made a post and I said, hey, you think we're at that point yet? Because a few years ago, I'm like, but I've been making pro LGBT posts here and there, just suggestively, and they go great. And people have messaged me like, thanks for standing up for us or whatever. I said, well, could we do that this year or just ever? And people were very supportive. Everybody's like, yeah, hell yeah, do that. I'll come right now. You know what I mean? So I've been talking with the Lamar Dixon people, and they're like, yeah, please, let's do this. So they're gonna set up the trade mart and they're gonna do all the heavy lifting for me because I was nervous. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I've never done anything like that. I just want to get the ball rolling. If I pass this on to another company or whoever else wants to do it in the future, good, that's fine. But I just want to be the guy that said, let's do this, you know? So they're gonna set up all the tables, they're gonna have food, drinks, they've already got a DJ, they're doing everything for me. So I just got to pay them a bunch of money. But we're gonna get sponsors and vendors, they're gonna cover that for me. But I've
Well,
got a lot of donations too.
I mean, I want to acknowledge you for the courage to do that. It's courage, man. That's courage. And
Yes,
I mean, you know,
because I have a lot of homophobic friends and family,
I
and I
mean,
said,
it's
you know
part
what,
of the
them, I
South.
don't.
It's part of the South. I mean, no question about it.
But if
And
I can normalize it, good.
I'm all with you, man. I mean,
Yeah.
I am so impressed about that because I mean, do you have like a vision for your audience for building I mean, because I mean, you've got an audience, you can raise awareness for some things. You know, I mean, I guess you're realizing that now. I mean, do you have
I
a
try to use my power for good.
do you have some other specific goals with that?
I don't know. I just play it as we go.
Yeah.
My sister was at a craft show, and my sister has a heart condition, and she crochets. Well, she crochets these little hearts, and she sells them for $1 at the craft show. And all the money she makes from the hearts at the craft show, she donates to the American Heart Association. So I'm like, huh. So I took a picture of her booth and I sent it and I put it on the meme page and said, hey, my sister has a heart condition. She's trying to raise money. And she had only made like, she's trying to raise $1,000 and she was at 150 after like a month. And I'm telling you, so many people went and some people just donated her money straight. And she was at like $800 in 2 weeks. So I try to do that. If I'll see something that I can use my power for good, because I don't want to say people do what I say, but I
Oh,
got this voice. People listen to what I say, so let's use it for good.
oh, you were on your way to being Port Parish president.
I didn't want that job at all,
I
and I
mean,
told
I
everybody that.
think you were on your way. So
That was the problem.
tell us that story.
So Bridget Hanna, the clerk of court, made a post. I'm just scrolling through Facebook, and I saw a post that said, "Hey, who's ever wants to run for this election, council, whatever you want to do, you have until a certain date to pay the money to get on the list." And I'm like, whatever. And then I'm like, wait a minute. How much does it cost? Because I don't want to win, but I just want to put my name on there. And I looked, and if you're a Republican or a Democrat, it's $450. And if you're no party, for some reason, it's half the price. I don't know if that's to encourage that. I don't know. But it was $225 because I'm neither Republican nor Democrat. I have my stances, but I'm neither party. So it was $225. So I made a post. I said, hey, if we raise this money, I tell you what, I'll put my name on there. And everybody did it. I got all the money in like an hour. One guy gave me $100. I said, yo, I don't really want to win. So I went over there and I signed the and I said, hey, can I put meme guy on there? So she put in the computer, Mark meme guy Belgard in quotes. And I'm like, yes. So and I put a post. I said, I do not want to win. I think Clint is doing a great job. The flooding was our number one problem, and I think he's fixed that. They've done a lot out there with the rivers and all that and the ditches. They've done great jobs. They've improved traffic. All these roundabouts, people complain about roundabouts, but they're working. I sit in traffic less. Clearly, the man's doing a good job, or his people, or whoever, whatever it works. So I said, let that man keep doing that. I don't know what the I'm doing. You would be doing your parish uh disservice. But I think it'd be funny to put my name on there so I can tell my kids one time, I ran for parish president. It would be funny. The news, like WAFB that night would have to put my name on the screen. It'd be hilarious. It's just I was just being selfish because why not? I got this money that everyone gave me to run. So I went in there and I did it, and my name, sure enough, was on the Secretary of State website, and I'm like, this is so stupid. So I told everybody, don't vote for me. And like, oh yeah, we're voting for the meme guy. I said, no, 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 don't. And people are like, that we need a new guy. I'm like, So somebody called me up. I'm not gonna say who his name is, but he's a very influential person in the parish. He called me up. He's like, dude, you need to drop out. And I'm like, why? I mean, not I don't want the job anyway, but what do you mean? And he said, you're so popular with this that you could actually force a runoff and give Murphy Painter a chance because you could take away from Clint's vote or whatever it is. Plus, you're just wasting everybody's time and money by having a runoff because you could force like the top guy not having 50%. He said, the only thing giving Murphy Painter a chance right now is you being in there. And I didn't want Murphy Painter to win. So if I got out of there, Clint was going to whoop it. And that's what happened. But yeah, I was actually doing too well, so I had to get out of there.
How long were you in the race?
A week. And but all the
Oh,
newspapers
wow.
ran. Like I think the Citizen did it, the Advocate, meme guy throws his name in the ring and whatever, and I'm just like laughing because I'm getting copies of these newspapers just to keep for myself forever. And I'm like, look at this stupid. I'm in the Advocate. I'm in the front page of the Advocate. That's nuts, because I'm just some guy, and here I am in the #1 paper in Baton Rouge on the front page. Who am I? This is awesome, right? So then I dropped out, and then they had to run me again. Meme guy drops out. I'm like, this is so. This is why I did it. This is why I paid that measly $200. Look at the media I'm getting. So it drew attention to the page. People were asking, who is this guy, whatever. And even if I'd have stayed in and lost, I was hoping to lose. I was hoping to get my ass handed to me, get 1% of the vote. I didn't care. I just wanted to be on TV. I wanted my name. Everyone who had to vote in Ascension Parish was going to have to see my name on their whenever they voted for parish
Yeah,
president. Even
yeah.
if they didn't click it, what 225? That's great advertising money. So that's why I did it. And then it went too well, so I got the hell out of there. But yeah, that was just for fun.
Well, I have a quote from you during that time. It says, "My page is a joke. Democracy is not."
Yeah, I wrote a whole speech. It was 2 long paragraphs, and I'm like, please don't vote for me. I thought this would be fun, but it's going so well. Please. And then I put that at the end. I thought it was pretty good. Wade at the Pelican Post, he's like, this is better than I could write.
Wow. Oh, look, it is fun. I mean, it is fun. You did the right thing to drop out, but
Yeah,
that's fun. I mean, everybody talks about it. Everybody talks about it. I'm pumped. This is good fun. So you are the meme guy, and I got a glimpse of that shirt before we started recording. Let me see I didn't see the whole thing. Oh,
powered by Boudin.
oh
Let
yeah.
me tell you why. I'll tell you right now. Right now, hang on. I got a shirt. I'm in my closet anyway. Hang on. All right. I don't know if it'll pull up. Here we go. I have a
Yeah.
shirt. Oh, it disappeared.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
There
There you
we
go.
go.
It says Boudin diet on it. I'll put it back up. It's not coming up right now.
Hashtag Boudin diet.
Boudin diet and Badger no A Bears sells those shirts. So I wore that Boudin diet and I was wearing it everywhere and people were seeing it and I was like, how do you get that shirt? And I said, we'll go to A Bears. They got them on the shelf. Well, I went to A Bears. They stopped selling them. So everybody's like, oh no. So I was gonna buy one for a friend and they didn't have any anymore. They just stopped making them. So I went on Amazon and I said, let's see if they got Boudin shirts. And I found this one says it's powered by Boudin. I said, that'll work. So now I wear this all the time.
I love it, man.
And the best place for shirts, you're not gonna believe this, is that Goodwill across from Rouse's by Walmart and all that in the middle of
Oh yeah.
Gonzales.
Oh
I'll
yeah.
go there and just look for stupid shirts. And because people just throw away these shirts, but some of them are ironically awesome. I got one with the Golden Girls on it. I said, that's awesome.
I saw that. I saw that on one of your photos.
Yeah.
What's the favorite the most favorite meme you ever made?
All right. All right. So the one that went I'm gonna say diamond. All right. So there's been memes where they post like a blurry picture and people say, hey, how come you didn't wave at me at the bar? And then this is my vision at the bar, and it's a blurry picture. So it was the middle of the summer last year, and I wear glasses. So I would get out from the air conditioned car to outside, and my glasses would fog up real bad. Just boom, you gotta take them off, you can't see. So I made the joke. I said, hey, why didn't you see me? Why didn't you wave at me in the parking lot? And I said, me in the parking lot. And I took a picture of the foggy glasses. And I'm like, that's funny, whatever. And I posted it, and it went 10 million views. It went diamond. I made about $500 off that picture.
Wow.
And then the other people like copied the idea. Like I saw some girl do it, which well, I was like, she stole it from me, but she also she did the work. She recreated it. So good for her. But yeah. And so I was at work the next day and I'm like, bruh, 10 million people have seen my face in their Facebook. Like who can say that? 10 million people saw my face yesterday. That's nuts.
It's a lot of people.
Yeah.
No question about it. What's something that people would be like super surprised to find out about you that they don't know?
I am not the party animal people think I am in real life. I've been quiet and shy my whole life, and I'm like nuts on the phone, but like in person, people will see me, and I'm like, hey, and then that's all I have to say. Like I'll go to the bar, like I'll just hang out at the park place or whatever, and everybody thinks I'll be like the party animal, and I'm not. I'm just awkward. I don't know. Like somebody was like, yeah, we're having a big party at my house, crawfish boiling beer. We got to get the meme guy. He'll make us all laugh, and I'm like, ah. I'm not as outgoing as like I am compared to how I used to be. But don't count on me to be like the party animal that, you know what I mean? I'm still
Yeah.
just a regular dude who gets nervous.
Well, are you still going to be a judge at the crawfish ball? And
Yes, that's the thing. Sherman Jackson's son. I know him from a podcast he does. He messaged me and he's like, "Would you judge this?" And I'm like, yeah, I'll go to everything." I judged the Cracklands contest at the Sorrento one this year. And boy, when I tell you I was sick of them cracklings in 3 days. We weren't even supposed to swallow them because it'll make you sick. You eat so much of them. We were doing 10 trays at a time. But
holy
I can eat some
cow.
crawfish. I'm not mad about it. So he told me, "Would you like to judge a crawfish boil?" And I said, "Absolutely. You picked the right motherfucker for that because when I was a kid, I went crawfish farming with my dad. We had a pond on the property, and I'd sit in the boat and pull the traps, and I'd go with him to the bait shop, and I'd go in the seafood shops, and we'd sell sacks. Yeah, I grew up crawfish
So did
farming.
I. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah,
Where did you guys have crawfish pond at?
just on our property. I lived down Kling Road. And even
Okay.
as a kid, we got my family has a ton of land, and we dug out a pond back there, and we would crawfish. We did that for about 5 years, like in the late '80s, early '90s.
So did we. So did
Yeah.
we. And because they were you could make money doing it for a
Yep.
period. And
Yep.
we used to go to Hayward's in Gonzales.
Yes. Yes, I remember that. Was that
We
the
would
one in the
buy our
Galvez
bait
Y?
there and we would sell our crawfish.
There was one right in the middle of the Galvez Y, I want to say.
That was the Hayward's.
There you go. See, I remember.
Yeah, and then they moved it because they redid the intersection. There used
Yep.
to be a Y. People, so the older people will remember this, but the young, just like the Concrete Man,
Hmm.
people don't. That was this, people don't remember. I'd love to get somebody on and talk about the story of like how the Concrete Man came about and
Yeah, I
what
don't
he
know
did
shit
about.
about it. Like I wish
Well,
I did,
I'll tell
but
you what I know, and people
I know it
can.
was on 42.
It was on 42, of course. I mean, me and my brother would just lose our mind whenever we would, drive down in the middle of the day and see the Concrete Man. My
Was there
mom would
just a
always say,
concrete factory down there, and it was
I
just
think my grandfather told me Sorrento Lumber Company built it.
okay?
I don't know if that's true.
Did they just demolish it, or did they move it somewhere else?
I don't know any of that.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I know that it was a sad day when I passed it and it was gone.
Everybody comments that. That's how I knew where to turn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah. I mean, that was like a really a big deal.
yeah.
And I don't know the story. I'd love to know the story. I think that's interesting.
There's a bunch of stuff like that around town that people remember. They're gone now, and people bring up. I did a video one time where because I still remember as a kid, I was fascinated by local geography as a kid, of where all the stores were, or where all the roads were. I still do that, obviously, but I made a video one time. I just went around Old Gonzales and I said, this used to be Del Champs, and then Del Champs moved over here. Then Del Champs became Big Lots, and now this over here, that was blank, blank, blank. That used to be Sicily's Pizza. This used to be there was a bar in that corner, and I just made a video going through Gonzales, and people loved that.
Oh,
And
that sounds super interesting.
some of the older people went even further back than I did.
Oh
Like
yeah.
the Premier movie theater and the Malco whatever, that bowling alley and all that. I said that was a Bud's distribution place or whatever it's called. And before that, FEMA had it they were just using it to host. And then before that, it was a Walmart. It was the old Walmart with the squiggly line between wall and
I
wall.
remember when it
And
was
I went in
built.
there a few times. I remember, but so I posted that, and people were like, "You don't remember when it was a Woolworth?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, no."
Yeah, well, so I mean, this is the kind of stuff that like I want to talk about because it's so fun. The first department store slash, I don't even know what you would call it, was a TG and Y.
I want to say that was on the corner of 30 and 44.
It was where Office Depot is.
Was it? Well, no,
Yep.
you're thinking of K and B, huh?
I think it became Cade. Well, maybe so. You're right. You're right. You're right.
Yeah,
I
because it
think
was
you're right.
that was K and B.
That's right.
TG&Y was part of a shopping center or something.
Like the first bicycle I ever remember like picking out and like like for Christmas or my birthday or whatever it was, I must have been 5 years old or 4 years old. It was at TG&Y.
Hmm.
If I remember, or it might have been, I might be wrong. It might have been, it had to be, it couldn't have been K and B. That was like a,
All I remember seeing at TG&Y was like because I was like 5. I remember just seeing
yeah.
clothes for sale, old clothes, and it just seemed like a very old lady store when I was a kid.
Yeah, I can barely remember it because it's shut. Like I must have, like I was little. I remember, and I'm not gonna do this, for a long time, but I remember I remember the last store on Airline Highway, going up to Baton Rouge, and it was like, okay, now it's just cow pastures and trees all the way to Segan Lane. I mean, it was nothing out there.
Yeah,
Oh,
I went like a long time without ever being in Dutchtown. Like when I was married the first time, I was living in Galvez, and to go to Baton Rouge, I would just take Highland or whatever, and then I would go to the main part of Gonzales on Airline, but I never would go to Dutchtown. I didn't have a reason. And then I went there for the first time in 10 years, and I'm like, holy, this was
oh, it's
all this was
mind-boggling.
all nothing before.
It's mind-boggling. I was told before Airline was there, people would have to go up Jefferson to even go to Baton Rouge before Airline was built.
Okay.
So like it would be like you'd have to go up basically like 431.
Whoa.
Yeah, and like Jefferson, like that's how you'd go to Baton Rouge.
What about like 73 and 42? Was that
That
there?
73. Yeah, or you could go
Yeah,
that
okay.
way if you were on that side.
Yeah.
I mean, like coming from like Port Vincent, you would have to go up like 431, 430, and 42.
I only just learned that airline is named airline because it takes you to the airport.
Oh, yeah, well, look, see
Well, yeah,
this,
see, it takes you to the New Orleans airport if you drive it. It runs along it, and that's why they named it airline because it takes you to the airport. And I didn't even know. I knew this is an airline highway. I didn't even put it together that it was
yeah,
that is an
yeah.
airport word.
And there's so many stories like that. That's fun. And you know, someone told me that it was named Airline Highway because that was like a path that some of the airplanes would actually fly, like at some point. I don't know.
Like over or on? I doubt it was on.
No, over it, over
Oh,
it.
okay.
Uh,
Yeah, perhaps.
but who knows? I mean, it's all fun stuff.
You need to get like an old head on here.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I'd like to get somebody like like here's some of the things. Like I'd love to know more about the old Pasqua Theater, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, I never went.
somebody who really knows. Well, I mean,
You
it
got to
must
get somebody older than us because we
way
only know
older,
what we were alive
way
for.
older. Because my parents, it was like closing down when they were kids.
Yeah.
You know, like they went though. They remember going. So this is like I need to get somebody like, well, I could get somebody who just knows the history, but
I'm about to piss everybody off. Ready? I
go.
only went to Cal's Bakery like twice. Everybody misses Cal's Bakery, but just my mom never took me, so I never knew. And then we went there one time, and I was so used to like Krispy Kreme donuts that whenever I got a Cal's donut, I'm like, this, I'm a picky kid. I'm like, this is no good. This is not as great as Krispy Kreme. I didn't know no better. I'm like, Cal sucks, I said. And then now I realize, well, it was probably way better. But everyone loves Cal's, but I never really went.
So look, you're doing the crawfish boil. You're going to be a
Yep.
judge. You've got the event. When is the event for the
That was tricky because it's got to be, you got to do it in June because that's the month for it. But then in Baton Rouge, they're having theirs on the 28th. And then I think we are going to do the 14th, but that was taken. So I had to, no, the 21st was taken. No, the 14th was taken. We had to do it on the 21st. Because I want to do it on a Saturday. So more people to go.
so you're trying to do June 21st this year.
Yes. And
And
then next year will be bigger because
what are some of the events that you got planned for this year?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
We're for sure getting a DJ, and then I got a bunch of people with drag queen friends. I don't know, but they're gonna try to put on something. It's that's out of my hands. I don't even know. People are
Yeah.
everywhere right now, but for sure there's gonna be food. A lot of people are get there's supposed to be like a guy with a table doing like HIV, STD tests and all that. So you can do there, and
What are you calling it?
just Ascension Pride.
How do people reach out if they want to help with that?
Right now, but he's just messaging the page, but we're going to start a page just for that. And we may have to start a nonprofit. I don't know how it works, but we'll have to give it its own bank account and its own organization. And all the money we raise, we're just going to keep it in that so we can do a bigger one next year and stuff like that.
Yeah. How
But
right
that's,
now
we're
is
all
someone
new to
on?
this. So we're trying to get like people to help us set this up. Like I got a few, we started like a committee, if you will. We have like a big group chat and none of
Well,
us know
yeah,
what we're
you need
doing.
that. You need that. Yeah.
So we're trying to plan something, but a lot of us don't know what we're doing. But there's a lot of people offering help.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who do know how to in
Yeah.
our community who know how to put these things together.
Yes. So I'm in good hands.
Yeah. So how do people reach out now if they want to help before you put that page together?
Well, right now I just say wait because I don't know what I need yet,
Okay.
other than money. Because even though a lot of sponsors and blah blah, they're going to cover they're not charging me a lot for that place, but and that's going to be covered. But we also have to pay whoever the band is, the DJs. If a drag performer, we may have to pay that person. I don't know. So I'm just kind of all I need right now is money because we gotta pay all these people.
Yeah, yeah. Do you have a way set up yet for people to send you money on it?
Yeah, well, I just made a post saying, hey, you can Venmo me some money at this, and so far
Okay.
we've raised about $900.
So look on your page and try to find that
I may
post.
I may need to pin it to the top or something.
Yeah.
You got to scroll a few days back, but
And so that's the Ascension Parish Department of Memes page. And so let's go out with this story.
yeah.
Tell us about the seal.
Okay. So when I first started, just started the page, I didn't have a logo, and I'm like, well, you got to have a profile picture. So I just took the existing one, and then I just wrote the word memes on it in a big, ugly, bold font, and that's all it was. And then I'm like, that's good enough. And then my aunt, she's like, you need to change it because that's not different enough. If you try to do anything real with this, it looks like, you know what I mean? It's too, not that they'll sue me or anything, but that's too
Well,
similar.
explain to people what we're talking about who never seen your page or don't know.
Okay, well, it was the original Ascension Parish logo, and I just wrote the word memes on top of it. And then I was like, I got to change it. It's got to be its own unique thing. So I made a post. I said, I need a new logo. I can't run with this. I can't make shirts with this or nothing. So somebody made a beautiful one. It was the parish logo. And then you see the plantation, but it had water flowing through it to represent all the flooding we got. But it was really well done. It was beautiful. And they've used like vector map, whatever. It's beautiful. So I said, holy, that's perfect. So we used that for a while. And it was just the existing logo flooded. And the joke was, flooding your feed since 2022 or whatever. Sanama High reached out to me. James LeBlanc reached out to me. He said, hey, would you like to sponsor our football field? It was like a year and a half ago. We'll put your sign on the scoreboard for like $300. I said, yes, that would be great. He said, we're the only school that sells out every game. So everyone would see your sign. I said, hell yeah. So I sent him the logo, and he's like, well, I sent the sign company the logo he was dealing with, and he said, this it's not a high enough resolution. It'll be, JPEG-y. It'll look gross on the sign. So my friend Jeff Vance, who does the comedy shows, he handmade a new one. And so now it's just a little more aggressive than the old one. The other one was the light blue. It was very smooth. Well, Jeff Vance made like an angry one, like it's hard waves. And he just kind of redid it in a higher resolution. So we ended up with that one, and that one's been it for about 2 years now. But that's the logo.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. It at first glance looks official.
Yeah. And now Ascension Parish changed their logo, and it is stupid. It's that giant A with the parish around it or something. I don't know. I'm not switching to that. I actually can't change my logo right now because I'm what I got the check mark. Like I'm whatever
Yeah,
the word
yeah,
is. Yeah.
yeah.
So to do
Verified.
that, yeah, that's the word. So to do that, I actually have an Ascension Parish Department of Means LLC company with the Secretary of State for the money. So I had to prove to Facebook that's who I am, and then that website has an owner, like I'm the owner on that page. So then I had to prove to Facebook with my ID and the paperwork that's me and that's my company and this is my page, and they linked it all together and they, whatever the word is, certified it.
Verified. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that's it,
all.
verified. Yeah. So now
That's
I have the
all.
check mark. So if I change the logo, I have to redo all that because now that's like my official trademarked thing now. That's verified. That's my logo. And also because I did that, if anyone tries to impersonate my page, like clone it, like spammers, they'll kill it.
We just had to do that with our
I'm paying a little money for that, but
yeah.
whatever.
We
Yeah,
went through
whatever. It's
this
worth
with
it.
our roofing company, JW the Builder. It took us almost 6 months to get verified with Google
Mhm.
for a Google list, like for your actual Google to be on Google Maps and everything.
Yeah,
Like it took it was like it was so many
a lot of paperwork
documents
to do,
back and forth, and they rejected it like
even though you're the real guy.
99 freaking times they kept rejecting it. Uh, but man, I'm so happy for you. I'm happy for what you're doing. I mean, more of you in the community is what we need, more good humor, but supporting good
Did you
causes.
see what I just did yesterday with giving people treats from the store?
Yeah, I saw that.
That's fun. Why not do that? Because
Yeah.
I had the day off. And a few weeks ago, I was at Ralph's and I said, anybody want anything from Ralph's? I was just joking. And some guy's like, yeah, bring me a monster. And I said, you know what? I could do that. It's $3. I said, where you work? And he's like, the Sorrento Fire Department. Bring it to me. I said, you know what? I'm off today. Let's do this. So people love that. So I said, you know what? This is going to be a regular thing. So last night, I'm like, who wants something from this gas station? And I did like 8 of them because everybody's bring me a Good Bar, Reese's, whatever. And I'm like, I ain't doing it. It's just 5-minute drives. So yeah, that was yesterday. That was fun. So I keep my page light. I don't get into national politics. Like obviously I do the local politics jokes. I try to, make little council jokes here and there, whatever. Not that people care about that anymore like they used to. But you're not going to see me making Trump jokes or anything like that because that's not why people come to my page. Like there's a Lafayette page and it's far left. And then there's like the Sadvocate and he's kind of far right. But that's not what I'm doing. I'm doing a local community page. No one wants to come in there and see Trump this, Elon that. I don't care. That's not what people come
I
to.
agree with you. You've
Yeah.
got it right. You've got it right. It's a
Because
place
yeah, plus you'll
to
piss off half your viewers like that. Why would
yeah,
you do
it's a
that?
place to it's almost it's just lighthearted. It feels like community. It
Yeah.
feels like Ascension Parish
Yeah,
when you
I've
go
built
on
my
that
own
page.
thing. I've built my own community with our own little jokes and it's
Well, it's going to keep growing too.
hell yeah.
It's going to keep growing. So, Mark, is there anything else you want to say before we roll out?
Oh yeah. Okay. So the pre-questionnaire y'all sent me, it said name something people don't know about Ascension Parish or Livingston Parish. Let me tell y'all something y'all don't know about Livingston Parish. No, it's about Ascension Parish. Diversion Pizza is not in it, okay? I'm saying this because they win best pizza in Ascension Parish every year. They're not in Ascension Parish. They're in Marpaw.
I'm going to tell you something. It's pretty good pizza.
I believe you.
It's pretty good, dude.
I'm sure.
What's your
But
favorite place to eat in Ascension?
uh, it just depends on what I want. Raoul's never disappoints on Burnside. They
Yeah.
got multiple Raoul's, but
What you
they're
like
always
over
good.
there? What you like over there?
I like them Philly cheese egg rolls, the crawfish egg rolls. They make those fat egg rolls that they split in half at an angle, and it's more than you can eat. And the burgers are
I'm gonna have to try a
stupid high.
crawfish one. I never had a crawfish one.
I got like a crawfish burger once, and it was 12 inches tall.
So they make a crawfish egg roll.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, it's
interesting.
delicious.
I gotta try that.
Yeah. So I like Raoul's. I like the South 73 lunchroom, but they're only open limited times. Like you got to go between like 11 and 2, but they make a good burger. The fries are great. They make them like those little thin fries that are like flat.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're
I,
great every time. So I try to go there when I can. Plus, I'm friends with the people that run it. Like I went to school with the dude, Brandon. So I
yeah.
try to go there when I'm off during the day and I can go there. I've heard Arsenal's on the River is pretty good.
Well, look, man. I haven't tried Arsenos, you said?
Yeah, but you got to go there when they're open. Also, they're for plant people. They're way out on the river. They're right in the heart of the plants, like where
I've never eaten
where
there.
73 hits the river at. That's where
Yeah.
they're at. So right by Bro Welding and all that. But you got to get there between 5 a.m. and 2, and I'm never over there. But I've been a few times, and yeah, it's good. bring your napkins because it's messy.
Well, look, man, I want to acknowledge you for like just who you are and how you showing up in the community. I appreciate you. A lot of people do. Everybody talks about you everywhere I go. When I talk about doing this and that in the community, they always bring you up. So you're doing a good job. You
I
making people
never get bored
smile.
with people wanting to take my picture or people thanking me in the store. Like I'll go to the store. Like if I go to a restaurant in Ascension Parish and there's more than 30 people in there, someone's gonna call me out when I walk in. And that never gets old. Like y'all don't never see me and go, I don't want to bother him. Please bother me. It's great.
Well, we can tell you're having a good time.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's a contagious energy,
Yeah.
and it's valuable. It's valuable to our community. So thank you.
Okay.
So
Sweet.
with that, we're gonna call it a show. Thank you for coming on the parish porch,
Oh yeah.
uh, lifting up your voice, speaking up in all the ways that you do, which are a lot of jokes and silliness, but we appreciate you. So you have a
Sweet.
good one, my
Thank you.
friend.
All right, brother. Thank you.